State.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is From the Pocket. Happy New Year. We're out here living in the future, 2025. Christian, we took last week off. It's been a couple weeks since we've done this. Got caught up in Christmas
all
and
year.
the New Year. Yeah, how was your holidays?
It was good. It was really good. Went down for the family. I was driving home a little later than I wanted to, and like hour down the road, I'm talking to my mom, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on my way and stuff." And then I get this thought, and I'm like, "I don't have the Christmas presents."
Oh, no.
And so my mom was like, "Hey, don't worry about it. Just we do it Saturday." I'm like, okay, and I'm sitting there, I'm driving, and I'm like, I gotta get these Christmas presents. So I had to turn around and drive back home an hour into the drive. Got my Christmas presents, came back, but Christmas was overall good. Um, Saw quite a bit of my family came to my mom's house. It was nice to see. Um, it was happy. It was really nice time. Uh, NFL did not do Christmas well. Did not do well. I know the numbers. I think said the NFL outdid the NBA, but um, the NBA games were way more interesting than the NFL games.
Yeah, we got two blowouts.
We had two blowouts, and I saw Beyonce. That was cool. But Houston only scoring 2 points. Well, not even score. Like it was just a safety, and that was really it. That was the game. And it was funny. I was the one that had to change it because I was like, I'm done watching this. I had to put it. I was like, we're done with Netflix. I had to switch it back over to ESPN and watch the games, which all the NBA games were phenomenal. So
yeah, I saw the
bring back the
Lakers
Christmas
Golden
jerseys.
State Warriors game. That was the only NBA game I saw, but
Oh man,
yeah,
the Wemby, the Knicks game, Wemby. I'm a Wemby guy now. I didn't think I would be. I thought it was like, I don't know. He started playing well in the back half of his rookie season, and then he's. I think he could be a star. He will be a star.
Greg Popovich got another one, so we'll see how that goes. No, but yeah, I mean the Christmas games for the NFL were a big letdown. I mean they got what they wanted though. Like Netflix, they said
people watch.
People from over like I think like 200 countries or like almost 200 countries or something tuned in. Jeez. I think their viewership was like 35 million, which I mean that's like a really good for the NFL. Like that's a really good day, but like it's not like historically incredible. But I'm very annoyed that the NFL put games on Christmas for a lot of reasons. It's just there's no reason for it. Like that's the thing about the NBA that's nice is like you can watch the NBA games on Christmas and it's kind of cool. You don't have to watch them though. The NFL you have to watch because there's only so many games. Every game matters, especially this time of year. Like I mean, we're still 2 months out from the All-Star break in the NBA. Like these games aren't gonna matter that much. These games on Christmas matter.
All the way.
Oh, I thought the All-Star break was in February.
Yeah. Well,
I guess it's January. I guess it's January. Yeah. So okay, but either way, like the NFL, like I mean, there's these. The 4 teams that played on Christmas, they got 2 games left going into that game. They got the game on Christmas, and then they got their Week 18 matchup. And, like, to put the Chiefs and the Steelers, to put the Ravens and the Texans, I mean, these are 2 playoff caliber games. Like, I'm trying to hang out with my family, dog. I can't be sitting here. I already have a hard enough time convincing my family, like, hey, I need to watch football all day on Sunday. And then you start throwing in Thursday night games, and it's like, okay. Now it's like, hey, also, sorry, I gotta watch these games on Christmas too. Like, I can't do that, NFL. And it's just, I don't know. Like, it's just annoying to me because it does feel like the NFL just tries. Like, the only reason the NFL can't play games on Saturdays and Fridays for parts of the year is because there's a law that says they cannot do that. And you see what happens as soon as they're able to. They're like, we're putting games on Saturday and Friday, and people watch. So, yeah, it annoys me. And the games were bad, which made it even worse. But it also does show like the NFL is going to keep doing this. They're going to put two more games on. We're eventually going to have a 3-game slate like we do on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And you're going to spend Christmas watching NFL games. That's just going to be what you do. So, yeah, the Christmas games sucked.
Leave it alone. Let the NBA have this. They're dealing with ratings issues and too many threes and stuff like that. Let the NBA have Christmas, man.
It's that, and I just can't watch football every day. Like I would love to, but I got stuff to do.
They're trying, man.
I got stuff to do. So
they're
anyway,
trying.
We can start talking about these games though. We had, I guess we can just clear these really quick. These Christmas games. We had the Steelers and the Chiefs play. The Chiefs beat the Steelers 29-10. They lock up the number 1 seed with the win, which was probably a little bit relieving to the Bills going into that week. They're like, okay, now we can at least like chill out against the Jets. They didn't. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah. And then of course the Texans lost 31-2 to the Ravens. The highlight of that was obviously the Beyonce halftime show, which was literally a Super Bowl halftime show. I mean, it looked every bit like that, so that was cool. But the games were not. I don't know, Christian. I really, the Steelers on their end, I think they've lost like 4 of their last 6 now or something.
Yeah. Since they beat the Browns, they lost to the Eagles, Ravens, and Chiefs. I think Chris Broussard said from the first things first. This feels like that year when, what was it? The Steelers went
11-0,
11-0, and then they lost like 4 of their last 5. This is what this is feeling like. You know, they were kind of riding high with the Steelers, like, okay, maybe they could be something, and just late in the season, and yeah, Russ is not doing well. So yeah, I feel like this. Not feeling very confident in Pittsburgh going into the playoffs. It's just kind of yeah. They get their winning season and then they're done. They're done playing football.
I mean, it's such a bummer too because they were 10-2 or something at one point.
Yeah, I was like, dang, the Steelers could win a playoff
13 games this year. They can win a playoff game. I don't think anybody ever thought of them as like an upper tier contender, but. I mean, they're going to probably, at this point, they're going to lose their division. Like they
lost it.
They had their division. We were talking 2 months ago, like, especially after they beat the Ravens the first time they played, it was like, oh, the only way the Steelers can lose this division is if they fall out of the sky.
And
they did. So that's unfortunate. And, I mean, now they're going to probably lock up. I think they're going to end up being the 5th seed because they have the tiebreaker over the Chargers. So
yeah, I think they'll be the 5th seed. So, but we'll get like you said, the Harbaugh Bowl.
Well, and honestly, the Steelers still might win I mean, that's kind of funny, and it segues really well into the second game with the Texans. You know, we talk about the Texans just looking like a mess. I could be wrong. I don't have it in front of me, but we're going to likely get the Steelers-Texans in round 1, aren't we?
Looks like we're getting Texans Steelers.
That's funny. So like you have 2 teams that are kind of feel like a mess. Like, what are they going to do? One of them is going to get a playoff win. So that's interesting. But yeah, and to segue over to the Texans, I just don't have any faith in either of these teams. I was very skeptical on the Texans coming into the year.
You were.
I thought they'd lose the division. The only reason I think they're going to win their division is just because of how bad their division is this year.
That was my reasoning coming into the season. I'm like, look, they might be a little overhyped, but I didn't believe in the Jags and Trevor Lawrence. At the Titans, we didn't know what the Titans were going to do, and the Titans don't either. And who else was it? The Colts were the wild card. You were high on them. Anthony Richardson doesn't seem like he is ready or a starter. Like I don't know. I'm not ready to say he's a bust, but it's definitely shown that he was not ready for this position whatsoever to be a starter in this league. Has immense talent, but he has a lot to work on. And then,
the
yeah,
Colts secondary also is just not good. Like they still have a lot of holes
the
too.
The Colts need a lot to fix a lot of things.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know the Texans. I just we've seen too often team comes in and it's like everybody's high on them. They got this rookie quarterback who had a good year. They're coming in and then things take a step back and the schedule gets harder because you're not playing a fourth place schedule anymore. Now you're playing a first place schedule, and I mean, CJ Stroud's 0-3 against the Ravens now, and he's been blown out all 3 times against them. Got blown out twice last year, one in the playoffs, and then now just got blown out again. Like it's not good. So as for the Ravens, I don't know how far the Ravens can go. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. I really do feel like this is heading towards Bills, Chiefs in the AFC Championship, but I could see the Ravens sneaking in and making some noise. Maybe they win 2 playoff games and make it. I don't know.
One last bit for the Raven or for the Texans. I'll say it's not all on CJ's fault, obviously.
Yeah.
He is going through a sophomore slump, and look, some of that is part of his offensive line being like a mixed match, guys, injuries and all that stuff. So they got to fix that. He did lose. He lost Stephon Diggs. He lost Nico Collins for a bit. Tank Dell. I think I saw. I don't think he's gonna be ready next. Like this.
Yeah.
I don't think he's not gonna be ready for this season this year. Maybe later. We'll see. But CJ.
It's also the second time Tank Dell had a I think he had a season-ending knee injury last year too, if I'm not mistaken.
Dang, okay, I forgot about that. But I will say, hey CJ, I know you're watching. So, hey man, going into this off season, I just want to say, if Micah Parsons calls you, just hit ignore. Just hit ignore. No, because no, all of this off season, I was singing. I saw him and Micah. I think somebody else.
Just bullshit.
Just going. We're like going all over the world or something. Like, hey, bro, let's cut this out. And like, you remember the game this year when they played the Bears, and I wouldn't say he was trying to big bro Caleb, but he's trying to give him advice, and he's been terrible ever since that game. Hey man, I'm just saying, work on your craft this offseason. Like, work with your receivers, work with your offensive coordinator. Like, this offseason, work on getting better, dude. Because this sophomore slump was this was bad, man. Especially in your division, that was so bad, man. You could be doing so much better, and looks like you're about to play the Steelers. You're potentially a one and done. Maybe the Steelers get a win over you. I don't know, but yeah, this was not a good season for the Texans overall. And for the Ravens, I disagree a little bit. They get the Chargers, I think, because they have the AFC North. I think they can get a win, depending on who they play next. If they
beat the Chargers, we assume. So they'd be the third.
They be the third.
Or the Texans.
They might be the Chiefs. Yeah.
They wouldn't play the Chiefs.
Oh, okay. They might not play the Chiefs. Okay.
Either the fourth or the fifth would win.
So they can play the Bills, maybe?
They would play.
Or
the first seed would play the lowest seed.
Yeah,
the
Bills
Ravens would play the Bills. The Ravens that'd be the only other team left. So that's who they were going after. And they did.
I'll give them a shot.
They blew the Bills out.
I'll give them a shot. That'll be a good game. I'll be very interested in that. But we'll see what happens up in that divisional round. But I believe in the Ravens a little bit. That defense is playing well. It's just, can Lamar do it in the big games? He's been struggling whenever he gets to the playoffs. So I think he didn't get his first win in the playoffs last year, right? It was just Lamar.
No, Lamar had a playoff win. That was the first time he had. That was the first time he made it to the AFC Championship.
Okay. That was the first time he made it to the AFC Championship. Okay, yeah.
I think it was his second playoff win.
Okay.
Because yeah. Anyway, yeah, Texans. Last thing I guess I'll say. I agree everything kind of what you said about Nico Collins was in and out of the lineup. Tank Dell obviously got hurt. Stephon Diggs got hurt early. The offensive line was not good. We saw a big thing of CJ last year. CJ was able to kind of drop back. He spent a lot of time making time doing his thing, and then he seemingly just heaves it, and it's like, oh, there's a receiver wide open 30 yards down the field. Wasn't able to do that as much with an offensive line that wasn't as good. But again, some of that I do agree is on CJ. I don't disagree with you on that. So, and last thing on the Ravens, if the Bills happen to lose in round one, the Ravens would get a home game in round two.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it is either, but that'd be funny. Anyway, all right. Well, that is Christmas. We can move on and talk about this Thursday night game. Don't have too much on it. The Seahawks beat the Bears 6-3.
What a Thursday night game to finish off the season.
As bad. Wet night, gross. We almost went to this game. Opted to not, and instead went and saw Nosferatu.
I think I'm thinking about seeing that today.
I enjoyed it. It was cool. It definitely, the guy who made it, he made like The Witch.
Yeah.
He made some other movies.
I haven't seen his movies, I don't believe.
Oh, he made the Northman or something.
I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, you haven't seen The Witch?
I wanted to see The Witch. I never did.
The Witch is decent. Witch is pretty good. Yeah, so it's kind of got that similar vibe. But yeah, we did that instead of going to this game, and I'm very glad we did because it was a terrible game. Caleb almost had that interception streak, and then he threw an interception at the end, and the streak was over.
I like that. Look, it's kind of the opposite. You know, when people complain about the preseason, when they're Dak, or I think it was Brock Purdy this year, was throwing too many interceptions. Like, going that amount of games without it throwing an interception was a bit concerning for me. I at least like it. Like, he was at least trying to throw the ball. I know it ended in not in the opponent's hands, but I don't mind it. Yeah, but how do you feel about the Bears moving forward?
I mean, unfortunately, their interim coach Tom Brown is not going to be there. He did bad. Like, just to kind of say it bluntly, I don't want to be mean about it, but he was not good. And even just watching this game at the end of it, I mean, he had miscue on miscue. It was fourth and goal, or not fourth and goal. It was like fourth down and I think 5 or something, and they're opting to go for it because it's the end of the game, and it's like, okay, they have 3 timeouts. They call a timeout before they're
calling timeouts.
Well, it's like, okay, why now? So you're in this fourth down situation. If you miss it, well, at least you have it's as the announcers are literally saying this as he does it. So like, well, the good news is if they don't pick up this fourth down, you still have all 3 of your timeouts, and then they call a timeout, and you're like, what are you doing?
Was the play clock running down or something?
I think so. I can't remember, but
yeah,
Caleb went back out there, and he pulled off a miracle play. I mean, he got flushed out, rolling. He's running like diagonally backwards and kind of
as he does,
puts a dot and gets the first down. And it's just, they had a couple of moments there where it's just terrible clock management, terrible game management, and that combined with the fact that they clearly were having a hard time when they started games, it's tough for the Bears. I think I'm very much on board. They need to get a culture builder. It seems like they're going to try to go get Ben Johnson. I'm a little iffy about now.
Don't hate that. I think that would be my number one choice. Now, as you said, a culture setter. Mike Vrabel will probably be my bet. But yeah, but the Bears are just a mess. Like, they're not a good organization. They haven't been in. I can't remember last when Mike Ditka was there.
They only have 1 Super Bowl. They won it in '85,
when they were undefeated.
and they went 15-1 that year.
Oh, 15.
And then
Oh yeah,
they
the
did go
Dolphins.
to a Super Bowl back in '06, so it's been about 20 years since they went to a Super Bowl. They did that with Rex Grossman, which is insane. And then they got back to an NFC Championship, I think once or
Jay Cutler,
twice.
right?
Jay Cutler got him there, but he got hurt during the game,
Mm.
and a guy named I think Caleb Haney had to come in and finish the game for him. That was the game Aaron Rodgers got to the Super Bowl and went and won it. But yeah, I mean, no, this organization's a mess. It's clearly going in the wrong direction. And it's sad because you get this quarterback, and it's like this is supposed to be the thing that fixes your organization, and all it does is continue to kind of show how dysfunctional your organization is. It's really embarrassing.
Yeah. And Caleb does deserve some blame. Like I said, the body language, uh, and stuff like that. The not the decision making, because I think he does a pretty good job of decision making, but I think he needs to learn how to how do I say it? Play on script. Like he's phenomenal at buying time, getting out of the pocket, evading the rush. But dude, sometimes it's 1, 2, 3. First read like
That's
it.
70% of your passes.
Sometimes it needs to be just hey, one read, two read, check it. Like it has to be like that. You can't all the time scramble out of the pocket and throw the ball downfield. This isn't college, bro. Like you're not in college anymore. Everyone's an athlete out here on the field. The game is much faster. So I think they need to. Ben Johnson would be my choice, as I said, because I think they just need a guy that can come in there and help fix you know the offense. I guess. Uh, I know Ben Johnson isn't. I mean, he's been under the Lions under Dan Campbell, and I like what they've been doing over there in the Lions. So maybe he takes some staff over there, help him out. But Mike Vrabel, I love that option, but it all depends on if you go get Mike Vrabel, you need to be certain you hit on your offensive coordinator because it's who's going to be working with
Yeah.
Caleb the most. So
No, that's not wrong. I
first choice
agree.
being a Johnson, but if, like you said, a culture setter, which they also do need, like they definitely need that badly. So Mike Vrabel, since Bill Belichick is at UNC now, yeah. So those would be my options. But yeah,
I my only concern with Ben Johnson is you get into that area where just because you're a brilliant schematic play caller, which Ben Johnson is, that doesn't mean you know how to kind of run a team.
true.
And that'd be my concern is you bring Ben Johnson over, but Ben Johnson's doesn't manage the team that well, but he's calling great plays, and then it's we're still kind of stuck in the mud because we have a guy who's more of a coordinator than a head coach. And I mean, it's not. I don't want to. You got to take a chance sometimes and give a coordinator an opportunity, but I just don't feel like the Bears are in that position. The Bears, their next hire needs to hit. I mean, they
Really
cannot
does
afford for it to not hit. And that's why
that's a bad look.
I
That's a
would look
bad
at
look.
Mike Vrabel. Pete Carroll's apparently interested. I don't know.
Oh, I forgot. I did see some of Big Carroll. I would love that. I mean, he did well in Stanford. He did well in Seattle. Could have built a dynasty. We don't have to argue. We don't talk about that right now. But
Almost.
I do like Pete Carroll as well.
Yeah. So as for the Seahawks, speaking of Pete Carroll, I read an article from The
Disappointing.
Athletic. It was they fired Pete Carroll to escape mediocrity, and that's still where they're at. I don't want to
Yeah.
be too hard on them. They have a rookie coach who I think he was a brilliant defensive coordinator from the Ravens.
Ravens, yeah.
I I, I don't want to dismiss them yet. Going into year 2, let's see how he figures it out. Let's let them build up a little more talent. And I hate to say it, I know people like the story, and I get it, and I don't dislike the story, but
No, you got.
at some point they're gonna have to upgrade their quarterback.
They need to.
Like
This is not a great season for Gino. Not all his fault, but No, this was very disappointing. I had picked the Seattle Seahawks to at least be in the playoffs, and I was pretty sad when they got eliminated. But yeah, this overall has not been a great year for them. I think defensively they've been playing well, but yeah, I think they, like you said, it's been a great story. He wins some games here and there, but yeah, they got to start looking to their towards their future. I don't even know who their backup is.
Oh,
Because it used to be Drew Lock, but Drew Lock's now
yeah,
on the
Drew Locke's in the
Giants.
Giants. I do. Sam Howell. It's Sam Howell. That's their backup.
Uh, all right, we know how that went
Yeah.
with Asta Washington. So yeah, they definitely it sucks because they're not that high in the draft, right? Uh, they're pretty
No, yeah,
probably like
they're
mid
middle
tier.
of the
Yeah, they're
pack.
nine
Yeah.
and seven. Could go 10-7 if they win this last game.
The
So
Rams are resting, so they got they have a pretty good chance. They're favored in that game, but yeah. Good luck to the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks. I like the organization. I think they got a talented squad. I think they got a coach that's young, that's figuring it out. And I mean, Gino, like, Gino's good for 9, 10 wins. Like, and you could do worse. Like, you could do
right,
worse than 9, 10 wins every year. But I do think they do need another kind of higher tier quarterback if they really want to escape this mediocrity. Um, Either that or you just keep rolling the dice that Geno Smith is going to have that, like, Sam Darnold
magical
kind of
year.
year or magical year or something. So anyway, all right, we can get into the Saturday games. We had 3 Saturday games. First one, I don't have too much to say about this one. Chargers whooped ass on the Patriots, 40-7.
I
Chargers
forgot
looked
these
good.
games were on.
Yeah, Chargers looked good. They look like they're coming together. Jim Harbaugh, man, he's just it's so funny. Like, I feel like every year we go into the season and we're like, this thing is gonna happen, this thing is gonna happen, and all these, and like, like when the Jaguars hired Doug Peterson, and it's just like, that's a great hire. Doug Peterson's gonna work out solid, and it didn't really work out. Like, there's just there's so much uncertainty in this game and in sports in general, but like, is Jim Harbaugh not like the closest thing to a lock you have in sports? It's like, just hire him and your team's going to be good. And that's what the Chargers are. Like, they're a good team. Like, they're still obviously like in a bit of a transition. They need some outside help. They probably need a little bit more defensive personnel. I'm sure Jim Harbaugh wants to continue to bolster the offensive line,
Yeah,
but
run the ball.
they got J.K. Dobbins on the cheap, who's been great this year. They got a good stable of backs. Justin Herbert's still a stud, and Jim Harbaugh he's like, we're just not gonna make mistakes. We're gonna beat you up, run the ball, not make mistakes, and we're gonna win all of our games 20-10. And that's just what they do. And he did it when he took over the 49ers. Now he took over the Chargers. Year 1, they're going to the playoffs, and I don't think they'll beat the Ravens in round 1, but like, if they do, I don't think people would be shocked by it.
No,
Like, I have a lot of respect for Jim Harbaugh. I love what he's doing with the Chargers. I'm glad the Chargers the ownership finally did what they were supposed to do and splurged. So yeah, I'm very
yeah.
happy. Good on you if you're a Chargers fan. You've earned it. I do think they will probably win a Super Bowl with Jim Harbaugh at some point.
No, we'll see. I think this was probably one of the better games I've seen Justin Herbert. I didn't watch this game, but Justin Herbert played 3 touchdowns, 26 for 38, 281 yards. So and they ran the ball pretty effectively. So yeah, they're good. Good on them. Good on the Chargers.
As for the Patriots, they are in, because of the Giant shenanigans, they are in prime position to get the number 1 overall pick.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I feel like you got to go get Travis Hunter. Um, I mean,
Well,
they just need
do
help.
you now? How do you feel about a quarterback? Like, do you love what's his name?
Drake May.
Drake May. Are you in love with Drake May? It's a lot. They have a lot to think about because yeah, Travis Hunter probably should be the number one overall pick, but are are you in love with Drake May? Or do you want to tackle? Like they could do so many things. They could move down.
Yeah.
They could really set the place for this draft, obviously, because they have the number one pick. But no, they're in an interesting position here.
I I think
Yeah,
trading away the pick or getting outside help is probably your best. I mean, well, I want to say, I mean, they need so much. I mean, their offensive line is horrible, but they don't have any outside weapons. Gerard Mayo might get fired.
yeah.
Um, I don't know how true those rumors are. I don't know. I find it hard to believe. I mean, Gerard Mayo was like, he was the dude on that defense for so many years. I mean,
I
he
just
was
don't
such
think
a
it's
strong.
well with the media. It's what I'm
Yeah,
like. He's not
he's
great with the media. I don't know how well he has control over this team. I don't know, but like you said, they need a lot of help. Like they don't have really a lot of they don't have many playmakers. It's really a defensive led team, but they don't really have a lot of defensive. It's not what we know the Patriots of old with Bill Belichick running that defense.
I mean, let me put it this way, and this is the way it was described. I was listening to a podcast. They are +3 this week. They are underdogs at home against a Bills team that's going to be resting everybody. They are home underdogs against a team of backups. Like that is horrible. Like,
Yeah.
that's embarrassing.
So yeah, it looks like it could be looking for a new head coach. So it's like even like well okay, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
I agree. Yeah, interesting offseason for the Patriots coming up. I also think it's funny, like Patriots fans. This is another thing I heard. Like Patriots fans are super psyched. Like, oh, we have the number one pick. We should trade down and get more draft capital. And somebody I listened to was like, y'all haven't proved y'all can draft. Like, what you gonna do with that draft capital? Miss on players? Like, I don't. What is?
Bill used to hit on the later rounds. He used to hit
Yeah.
on the later rounds.
Go find a random quarterback and be like, I'm gonna make you a punt returner, and that's how we got Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
All right, next game, Broncos Bengals. Incredible
I
game.
sad I missed this game.
This
Look
game
at
was
OT.
awesome. This game was
Yeah.
awesome. Little low scoring in the first half, and then the second half, both these offenses picked it up. They were just trading drives for touchdowns. I had the Broncos as one of my best bets, +3, so I was rooting for the Broncos all game.
Oh man.
And Joe Burrow, he'd go down and score a touchdown, and it'd be like 10-17, and I'd be like, oh boy, I need Bo Nix to go do, and Bo Nix would do it. And then Joe Burrow would come out and do it again, and I'd be like, okay, Bo, I need you, and he'd do it again. And the final touchdown that Bo Nix threw in this game, they had like 11 seconds left, clock
8 seconds
ticking,
apparently.
and he rolling out, flicks it. His receiver goes up in double coverage and grabs it and holds on, and they score. And I was like, okay, now they're gonna go for 2, and we're gonna get a resolution because you're out on the road. You're on a short week. Like go for 2 and end the game here. You don't want to risk giving the ball back to that offense. And Sean Payton made what I thought was not a good decision. I like Sean Payton. I don't want to be too mean about it.
Oh, you didn't like the extra point?
No,
You think they
I
should have
wanted them
went
to go
for
for
it?
2.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit of a bias. I wanted them to go for 2 because win or lose at that point, I cover my bet.
Yeah.
But I also just thought on the road against a Bengals team that has been cooking your defense all second half, you have an offense that's been humming. Put it in your offense's hand, one play, go win it, and put their season to bed. Lock your ticket to the postseason. And instead, they opted to go for the extra point.
Extra point.
And to their credit, they came in and stopped the Bengals first drive, but then their offense
They
didn't do
punted.
anything, and then they held them again, and then
They missed a field goal.
yeah, that's what happened. The Bengals missed a field goal, and it's
And
like
then they
great,
punted.
and then they didn't get a first down again. Like 2 drives in the after their offense was on fire. Incredible performance in the second half. They had 2 drives, did not get a single first down.
Especially in the fourth quarter. 28 points combined in the fourth quarter alone in this game.
Yeah, it was crazy. So Good for the Bengals. Happy for Joe Burrow. Love Joe Burrow. Happy he got to keep his season alive. Broncos.
If like I know I'm a Dolphins fan, but I really do want to see Joe Burrow in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, Joe Burrow. It just hits different. When you got Burrow, Lamar, Patty, and Josh all in the playoffs, like it's different. And Justin Herbert would be in the playoffs.
Just I throw
Like
Herbert in there
that
too.
would be that. It's such a good playoff set when those players are in it. But I mean, I like the Broncos. I've loved what the Broncos have done this year. I can't remember if I picked the Broncos to sneak into the playoffs. I don't think I did.
I don't think I
I
did
don't think
either.
I did. But Bo Nix. I know a lot of people are kind of been down on Bo Nix as of late. He's been having a lot of turnover problems, but
Yeah, rookie.
I just Sean Payton is going to get the most out of him. I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be an elite level player, but he's going to be around for a couple years, and
Yeah.
he's good. I mean, again, they're about to be in the playoffs. Like, assuming they win on Sunday, which they got to play the Chiefs backups, so we'll see how that goes.
Bernard.
Oh, it's Bernard. Hey, what up, Bernard? All right. We got the last game of the Saturday slate. Rams Cardinals, kind of a snooze fest, low scoring. It was not. You know what? I want to take that back. It was actually a really good game. It was 0-0 for a lot of the first half, but it was like a compelling 0-0. But yeah, the Rams get the win. Cardinals, Kyler Murray just could not. I don't think they even. I think they got 3 field goals in this game, 13-9. Yeah, just didn't do enough. So Rams punched their ticket to the postseason with a win, and they get the NFC West crown. The Cardinals season, after looking promising for stretches.
Okay, yeah. There's a bit of
There
a
was like a
couple weeks
month
with it.
we were
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, they're actually gonna do this. Yeah, and then everything else was not. Yeah, disappointing for the Cardinals. They're still not there talent wise, but I heard Colin Cowherd saying they should trade Kyler Murray.
And do what?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what people's obsession is with. People just don't like Kyler Murray. Like
He's a bit up and down. But he doesn't have a lot around. I'm not like a Kyler defender. I'm not. I want to say I'm not. I don't have too much stock in Kyler Murray, but gotta call a spade a spade. This Cardinals team is not talented whatsoever. Like, I love Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he could be a future Hall of Famer. All the crazy catches I've seen that man make this year, but yeah. Like, other than that, I don't know what they do well. What do they do well?
I mean their defense is schemed well, but it's not filled with a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Their offense is still a work in progress. No, I mean this, and this goes back to what
Tough division. You gotta play the 49ers twice, the Rams twice, and then the Seahawks twice.
it's a yeah. I mean, I also just this goes back to when we were talking about Kyler Murray getting paid, and I was just like, I don't understand why you would not pay Kyler Murray. People are like, well, and I'm like, this is an organization that has not had a competent quarterback. Has never drafted a competent quarterback. Like, the only competent quarterback play this team has seen in anybody's lifetime who's a fan of this team was Kurt Warner, who everybody thought his career was over. And they found him on the street, and they put him in, and they got to a Super Bowl with him. That's it. And we have Kyler Murray who comes in. He's the most talented quarterback they've ever had. He's a pretty good quarterback. I'm not saying he's great. He is hot and cold. I'm not denying that. His maturity has always kind of been called into question, but like the idea that like they are an organization that can just be like, I want another one.
Let's try this again.
Like,
Let's
what
run
are
it
you
back.
doing? What do you? I don't know. It just annoys me. It's the same kind of ring. It's like, maybe we should get rid of Kyler Murray. It's like, and do what? Like, as you said, like, and do what? Go try to draft another guy and miss for another 50 years? Like, have fun with that. Anyway.
What is even the QB market?
I mean,
Sam Darnold, like
Kirk Cousins. Go get Kirk. Go get Aaron Rodgers.
Actually, I just saw a thing. Rumor mill is Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers are getting dropped by the Jets. I believe the Devontae Adams thing. There's really just no reason for him to be there. Um, we'll see about the Aaron Rodgers thing, but that is the rumors.
Apparently, Aaron Rodgers and the front office of the Jets hate each other. He
Yeah,
hates the front office.
was it Woody Harrelson?
Oh,
That's an actor.
Woody Johnson.
Woody Johnson. I know,
Yep.
like that's an actor.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
Good riddance. You didn't do anything. You got hurt your first year, and then the second year, you did worse. You did worse than when we had Zach Wilson.
Dude, they're
Get out of
4 and
here.
12.
You don't owe you anything.
They're 4 and 12. I guess that's a good segue to get into our Sunday games. We
Get
can
the
go ahead and
F
talk
off.
about
Get the F
Jets
off.
Bills really quick. Bills thump them 40-15. I think you're about to say the same stat I'm about to say. Go ahead.
Oh no, I have. I think after I didn't watch this game, but I think after the game or something, I think it was an Aaron Rodgers post game interview where because they benched him or whatever, and apparently it was like 33-0, and he's like or 33-7 or whatever the score was, and he's like talking to the coaches. He's like, I think the interim head coach, and he's like, hey, he's like, you sure you want to sit out? He's like, yeah, man, we're not doing anything here. And then the Bills score, and it's 40-7 or something like that. And it's like, yeah, man, I definitely want to sit out. I don't need to go back out there anymore. But also, Garrett Wilson, there's rumors that he wants to be traded. So yeah, just a lot. There's a lot not going right for the Jets. Um, yeah, I mean, when a story came out that their owner was trading or didn't want to trade for Jerry Judy because he's mad, right? Like it's just a mess, man. It's a mess.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna do this, but so the thing about Aaron Rodgers that's interesting right now is Aaron Rodgers has 499 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
In that game against the Bills, there were 3 quarterbacks who scored a touchdown, and none of them were Aaron Rodgers. Tyrod Taylor, Mitch Trubisky, and Josh Allen all scored touchdowns.
Oh yeah, like Tyrod Taylor went out there and like they scored like immediately. Oh yeah, I think they were scoreless. It was 33-0.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to do this, but I have heard because of the kind of feud that is developed with him and the organization, the idea is like, what if they bench Aaron Rodgers, do not let him play in the last game of the season, and therefore he never gets his 500th touchdown?
That'd be the most pettiest thing. I love it. That's
want
hilarious.
it to happen. It would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Aaron Rodgers
great way for
finish
his
career with 499 touchdowns. That would, man, how insane. Anyway, Bills, they get the win. Congrats to y'all. Nothing crazy there. I mean, it was a great blowout. Nothing else to say.
Be playing next week anyway, so
yeah, they're resting starters. They're locked into the 2 seed. So
Not
Josh
bad.
Allen probably winning the MVP. Congrats to y'all.
we'll see.
Yeah,
it's a little bit interesting. I saw right before we got on. Apparently, the Eagles are going to be playing Saquon, so I guess
I
Eric
was bummed about
Dickerson's.
that.
Yeah, apparently Eric Dickerson's going to keep that record. I get it. Like he has all these touches, and he has been basically their offense. But what a great season for Saquon. I know me and you both were doubting this
I was very
this
down on it.
position, and no, he balled this season, and the Eagles have a very good chance of making the Super Bowl again. So I understand he needed, like Nick Wright was saying, I understand if like he needed like 30, 40, 50 yards, but he needed 100 yards. And look, you could do that in a half, but that's a lot of carries, and you are risking injury. So I'm a little bummed he's not gonna be able to get the record, but what was it? He's so sorry. What is he like the ninth running back in NFL history to get 2,000 yards? And you know how before the season, how we were talking about running backs and if they should get paid or not. Like this was just a great season overall for Saquon, and not just for Saquon, for the running back position.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, and not even just from him, but like what we saw from Derrick Henry getting
It
signed to
was
a
pretty
new
good.
team. He was awesome in Baltimore. Josh Jacobs has been great in
Yeah,
I
he's
think
been
I
great.
think the three rushing leaders this year were those three guys. All of them signed with a new team this offseason. So
And J.K. Dobbins was doing well for a
J.K.
minute.
Dobbins was
He
awesome.
he did get injured a few times, but yeah, this was a great year for the running back position.
And even Jahmyr Gibbs, like I know he wasn't signed, he wasn't a new player that signed, but he got taken with the first overall pick a couple years ago now. Like that shows that there's still value too in drafting a running back high, and it's not about like, oh, I can wait till the fourth round or something and pick up a running back and get that productivity. Like there is value in drafting a running back that can be a true playmaker and difference maker for your offense. So yeah, no, I think that's a great point. The only other thing I'll say that I'm a little bummed about personally is he would be playing against his old team. He'd be playing against the Giants. So
He's
he would
not
have had
gonna
an
get to it.
opportunity to break the record against the Giants. Won't get to, but
I understand, but yeah, that's just
it's the
that's
right
tough as a
move.
fan.
It's
Yeah,
the
this is the
right
right
move.
call.
It does suck because I would like to see. I just Saquon is like, I hate the Eagles, but Saquon is such a likable guy,
Yeah,
and
and it seems like the team has really rallied around him,
yeah, I mean he's immediately become their best player.
except for Lane Johnson.
So
Apparently, Lane Johnson was like, "Yeah, bro, no, I don't want to break. You don't need to break that record or whatever." I don't know what he said, but
jeez.
he's like against it or whatever.
Um, but yeah, I guess really quick we can just talk about the Eagles Cowboys since we're here. Um, yeah,
Rough game
Eagles,
for
good for
Kyle.
y'all. Did it with a second and a third string guy. Kenny Pickett came in, and then Tanner McKee came in, and the Cowboys deactivated CeeDee Lamb going into this game.
Yeah,
He's been dealing with a shoulder, and they're already eliminated, so they're not even playing for anything. Cowboys got thumped. It was embarrassing. It was sad too because this was one of my 5 bets of the week. Um, I had the Cowboys like plus 7.5, and I was like, I feel great about that. The Eagles have a backup quarterback. Cowboys have a backup quarterback. I'm like, Cowboys can hang with the Eagles. No, it was not even close. It felt
dang.
like it could be early, as all games do. Because they don't
It's like,
start out zero
we're
to
cooking, we're cooking.
zero, and then it just never got better. Like you're in bad shape when you're sitting here and you're like, okay, if they just score 2 more touchdowns, I'm back in
We're back in
it.
it,
We're
baby.
back in it. If
Cooper
they just get
Rush.
2 more, just find a way to score 2 touchdowns. Yeah, no, it was bad. Cowboys, they're going into I'm a little optimistic about the Cowboys. Like, this is to me.
They
I've already talked about
should
this.
be better, I
It's
guess.
feeling more and more like a transition year. Like they had some young guys who needed reps. They needed to kind of get some experience. That defense kind of found its way as the season went on. Mike Zimmer, you got Deron Bland back. Obviously, they were missing Micah and D-Law early. It felt like this defense really found its way with the Marvin Overshawn. They've got a couple of other linebackers that are young and really good. Their secondary is still pretty talented. This offensive line too. Like I know people were really down on the offensive line early on in the year. I was very much I was a fan of the offensive line in the sense that I was like, look, Tyler Guyton's a rookie left tackle. Tyler Smith is still young. Zach Martin's older. Cooper Bebe is still a rookie, and Terrence Steele's bad. Terrence Steele is not good. Terrence Steele needs to go. But over time, they got better too, and I really do think they need some depth. They need a weapon or two out on the outside. They need to not be
Yeah,
stingy and actually try to pursue a running back, which by all accounts it seems like they're going to in the first round if the rumors are true. Um,
they
and
better.
and Dak's going to come back, and I think you're going to see
He's
this team
solid.
go
Yeah.
win 11 games next year. They're going to have a third place schedule, and things are going to be fine. And
You expecting McCarthy and Zimmer to be back?
I am, yeah. I mean, I will say this. Those rumors were picking up, and there was optimism, and then they go get thumped by the Eagles, and now it's like, if they
Hey, hold
go
on.
and get blown out by the Commanders on Sunday,
That would look
I
really
don't know.
bad.
I don't know. He might get fired then, but I am tentatively of the opinion that he will be back next year.
And you're okay with those decisions?
I'm fine with that. Like, I was very much, my mindset going into the year was I wanted to give I wanted to give Mike McCarthy a one more chance, kind of like, okay, show me your worth. Like, show me you can get us into a position where we can make like a real run at this thing and not blow it like you have the past, especially last year. But I didn't feel like he got that this year. I didn't feel like he even had an opportunity. Like, injuries were bad. He had a new defensive coordinator that was trying to find his way. Dak obviously got, like, the season just spiraled out of control so fast early on. I just don't think he got a legitimate chance. So I'm okay with bringing him back and kind of like saying, like, okay, this year's a mulligan. Like, this dude took us to 3 straight 12-5 seasons. Like,
yeah,
I'm not sitting here going, and now you're going 7-10. Like, that's just not. I don't blame Mike McCarthy for that. So I'm okay with it. I don't have optimism that like they'll be Super Bowl contender, but maybe they'll surprise me. So yeah. Anyway, really quick, Colts Giants, sad game.
What are you doing?
This is one of the rare games where nobody won. Nobody won.
I'm over here sitting there like, why are y'all playing? Why are y'all picking now, this time of year, to be playing good football?
It's Drew Lock is apparently an all-time great now, so that was really cool. No, I mean, it's sad. Like, you had Drew Lock just going off, and I just imagine Giants fans going, what the hell? Why?
I did see a tweet. It was like, well, now John Mayer doesn't have to draft a black quarterback.
He's like, we're giving Drew Lock a contract extension, right? Everybody's like, no, yeah, we are. No, it's it's just bizarre. Like, I imagine Giants fans going, now you want to win.
Yeah, right? Like, now we want to play well.
Now when it's like, all right, fine. Well, at least we have the number 1 pick. No, you don't. No, you don't. Now they're like, and I've heard like if they win this week, which the Eagles are playing their backups, like who knows, that they could fall out of the top 5.
That would just be hilarious.
Oh my gosh! As for the Colts, tough loss. Their defense just could not stop the Giants' offense to save their life.
Which is crazy.
Like, they kept getting within 1 score of this thing, and then it just all fell apart again.
They put up 45 points. Is this their season high? This has to be.
I think it is. That's probably the most the Giants have scored in 5 years.
I don't know about that, but that was a season high for sure.
All right. Let's clear out a couple quick ones. Jaguars, Titans, whatever. Yeah. Jaguars, tough season. Titans, one of the worst. I did have the Titans. The Titans were my pick going into the year to be the worst team in the league. They're one of them. Jaguars, I did have making the playoffs, I think. So, a little tough. No, I think I had them barely missing, but I had them being.
They barely missing. They overshot it by miles.
Yeah, we have the Bucs thumped the Panthers. Good for the Bucs, coming off a tough Sunday night loss against the Cowboys. Go take care of business against them.
Balling once again.
The Saints and the Raiders.
Shout out our boy Brock Bowers.
Oh yeah, he broke a couple records. That's probably the highlight of that game. Is he?
That was the only highlight of that game.
He broke the tight end receiving yards record, and
he broke Mike Ditka's record.
Which, by the way, that is insane that Mike Ditka held that record for as long as he did. It's not even that. He did that A, in an era when they never threw the ball.
Yeah.
And B, he did it in an era when tight ends sure as shit weren't catching the balls.
Like they are now,
yeah. Like, that is insane. I mean, that's... Anyway, I mean, that's like... I can't even... That's like a linebacker. Like that's like a corner. No, okay, I get it. I'm sorry. It's like a linebacker breaking an interceptions record for a linebacker, and the linebacker's record he broke was played in like the 50s. And it's like, how did a linebacker in the 50s get that many interceptions? It's like, anyway. Good for Brock Bowers. I want him to win Rookie of the Year. I know he won't.
Probably, yeah, he's probably not. It's probably not
Trash, garbage ass. That is the Rookie of the Year. You know,
Yeah.
not to take anything away from Jaden Daniels, not to take anything away from Bo Nix, but you got a guy who literally, in every sense of the word, had a historic year. Anyway.
Just his team was just very, very bad.
Your Dolphins with a backup quarterback did something they struggled to do this year. They got a win against the Browns. Not a
More than 10 points.
Yeah. Would they win like 20-9?
20-3.
20-3. That's what it was. So
the Browns were. This is what we do. We beat the bad teams. I mean, it was really hard when we didn't have a starting quarterback. I did see. I think Snoop Huntley, or yeah, he's gonna be getting his start this last week against the Jets. We'll see how it goes.
I'm rooting for y'all. Yeah, and this is another thing.
Sorry.
No, yeah, go ahead.
For the AFC, it's only 3 games. Everybody else is locked in except for that 7th seed. The 3 last teams are the Denver Broncos, the Miami Dolphins, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Denver, I think, plainly just needs to win, and they're in. But if they and Cincinnati lose,
if they lose and the Dolphins win, the Dolphins are in.
Yeah, if the Dolphins, but for Denver specifically, if they win or if them and Cincinnati lose, they get in. I guess they have like a tiebreaker or whatever. Dolphins get in if they win and Denver loses. Cincinnati gets in. To clarify, Broncos are playing Kansas City, Dolphins are playing the Jets, and Bengals are playing the Steelers. Cincinnati gets in if they win, Denver and Miami loses. So those are the last 3 scenarios for the 7th seed for the AFC playoffs.
Nice. Yeah, and it's just weird. It feels like all the conversation has been like the Bengals are still alive, and it's like nobody ever talks about the Dolphins being alive. But the Dolphins are right there. I mean, Dolphins are Broncos lost to the Chiefs, granted the Chiefs backups.
Yeah.
And a win against a terrible Jets team away from being the 7th seed. Like, that's kind of right there.
Terrible start to the season.
So, that'd be really cool if they made the playoffs. All right, we got the game of the week right here. I won't lie. Vikings beat the Packers 27-25. I know it's like, oh, it's close. This game was like 27-10, and the Packers decided to score a couple late touchdowns and make it look like they were in it, and the Vikings got the first down, ended the game. I don't know. Like,
they missed a field goal.
They missed
the Vikings.
I think they missed 2 field goals.
I don't see the other one. Oh yeah, but it was still 27. Oh yeah, this could have been a lot worse. You're right. They didn't. It was 6 points on the board.
This was not a. I did not feel like this was a very close game.
No,
I felt like the Vikings were clearly the better team.
Yeah.
Good for the Vikings. Good for Sam Darnold. Going to get a big paycheck this offseason, whether it's from the Vikings or other teams.
Slow your roll there. Minnesota don't. Hey, do not try to pay. Do not try to pay this man the highest paid. Give him like a Baker deal.
I mean, yeah.
We'll see what the market is. We'll also see what the market is, but I would not try to pay top dollar.
I think
maybe 45, between 45, 50 mil.
I think the nice thing is Sam is
going
to be willing. If I had to guess, Sam Darnold would be willing to take a pay cut to go to a good organization.
Like I got Justin Jefferson.
He's not
the best receiver in the league.
He's not about to take $60 million to go play for the Raiders.
Go ahead, or go play for the Jets. Go ahead.
He will never.
Oh no, he's not going to the Jets. But yeah,
go
to the Raiders.
That's why, he's like 40.
You and Brock Bowers
him a contract.
The
Vikings
friends.
are offering him a contract. They're like, we'll give you $40 million. He's like, he was the second.
Maybe a little bit more 40. Like, don't give me
the 3rd
40.
overall pick. Like, he made a lot of money on his rookie deal anyway.
True.
Like, he is fine financially. He can sign an upper middle of the pack contract and be on a good team, and like he'll be fine. So that's what I think. But
I would stay with the.
I would
I'm
stay with
telling
the
my age. I'm
Vikings.
trying to stay with the Vikings.
I would too. Or the 49ers if the rumors are true that they might be interested in signing him. But
he was just there. Okay.
yeah,
He was just there last year.
hey, ain't broke, don't fix it.
What
No,
didn't Kyle Shanahan call him what was it, Steve Young? Did he call him
he
Steve
got
Young
that
or
Steve
something?
Young
Compare
in
him?
him.
That's
No,
crazy.
but the Vikings, like, it's such a great season. I mean, they're
Great
14-2.
Thought they were out of it.
Literally had them as like a 5-win team this year. Not because I thought they were going to be bad, just because of how hard their schedule looked going into the year. And man, I mean, what an incredible season. I cannot get over it. As for the Packers to me are the definition of a second-tier team. And the reason I know this is because against who we consider the three best teams in the NFC, the Eagles, Lions, and Vikings.
Awesome.
They are a combined 0-5 against them.
Yeah, have they won a division game? I guess against the Bears.
They've beaten the Bears once.
They're
playing the Bears this week.
Oh, okay,
So
okay. Yeah, they beat the Eagles. They lost to the. That was a close game. Way back in week 1. They lost. Hey, they still lost, and they got swept by the Lions, and they got swept by the Vikings.
They did the same thing when they played the Vikings the first time. The Vikings were up by like 28 points or something in the first half.
That was the game. And then they came. That was the game. That was Jordan Love's first game back, right?
Yeah. So people are like, oh, he's shaking off rust, and then the same exact thing happened in this game. Like they just, I don't know. Like the Packers are good, but I do feel the Packers are a little overrated.
Like, I don't think. I think they're properly rated. I don't think anybody's saying they're going to do something in the NFC. What do you say?
I guess I more meant going into the year. Like I saw people.
Okay.
I saw like Dan Orlovsky. I think it was Dan Orlovsky. He did a segment where they were like, let's rank the receiving core and weapons for the NFC North. And he put the Packers at 1. And Packers fans are like, I'm glad somebody sees it. And it's like, dude, no, if it looks.
Justin Jefferson, I know he's not having a great year. Justin Jefferson is still the best receiver in this league.
I think I'm going to say this. Okay? Get the censor ready. I think the Packers have the worst core of weapons in the NFC North. Like they have depth. They have depth. Christian Watson is cool.
I maybe put them above the Bears. I don't know. I like what the Bears have good receivers.
DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore.
What did they do? They do nothing this year.
The weapons are really good. Like if that offense was coached under Matt LaFleur for the Packers, like who would you rather have? No, like I just
very young team.
The Vikings have T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Reed, Jordan
Addison,
and
which I like. I like Jordan.
Justin Jefferson, like the Lions. I mean,
Amon-Ra St.
Brown,
Jameson Williams is starting to
Sam
come
Laporta,
Sam Laporta,
Sonic and Knuckles. Like, I just like they. I look at the Packers and I'm just like.
Christian Dobbs, Roma Dunze. I do. Josh Jacobs
and Christian Watson, and they have Tyler Kraft in their tight end. They have Josh Jacobs, who's good. Like I like their guy. But
number one is crazy.
It feels like I just feel like people are trying to convince me that they're like this receiving core is top notch, and I'm like, y'all keep telling me that. Y'all keep trying to convince me, but like. All I see are a bunch of 2s. And, like, you got a lot of 2s. Like, I'll give you that. But, like, like if they went out and got a bona fide number 1, Christian Watson can move into a 2. Romeo Dobbs can move back. Tyler Kraft, you have Josh. Like, then, yeah.
Romeo Doubs play for the Bears. Okay, that's what I was messing up.
We can talk then. But until then, it's like, you're not going to convince me that because you got a bunch of 2s on your roster, you have the best receiving core
They play really good though.
When you're competing against Justin Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown, who are clear number ones. I mean, like Justin Jefferson's like historically good. But Amon-Ra St. Brown's no scrub. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. It's a little annoying.
No, that is insane.
Let's see. Vikings, we did that. Falcon, man, dude, did you see the Falcons Commanders game?
No.
That game was awesome. That was two rookies dueling, straight dueling, and
I should have. I don't know why I didn't watch this one. Oh yeah, I was like asleep. That was weird. Sunday was weird, man.
Jaden Daniels came in clutch and got the win. They went to overtime.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was this Look, I know they lost. I know the Falcons season is like on life support, but like,
hey, they can get it. They can get it in the last game. They need the Bucks to lose, but they can get in.
I think we are now officially at the point where we can definitively say they waited too long to play Michael Penix. Because Michael Penix lost this game. I thought Michael Penix was really good in this game. I mean, they went into halftime up, I think, by 10 points. He slowed down in the second half, but like,
yeah, they were up 17-7.
Michael Penix, like, if Michael Penix had been playing the last 2 months instead of Kirk Cousins, this team might have 11 wins right now.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this team might have 10, 11 wins right now. Like, and instead they're sitting here at 8-8 or 9-7, whatever their record is.
What happened to young Hoy Koo? Did he get hurt?
I think young Hoy Koo got hurt.
They missed a field goal. That would have, I guess, a 56-yarder. That's tough. But, yeah, it is your job.
Yeah. But anyway, Michael Penix solid. I was a big Michael Penix fan coming out. Jaden Daniels solid. And it's really fun to see both of them doing well. I'm excited for Michael Penix's future. I'm glad they finally are giving him the starts that he deserves because he is balling out. This Falcons team feels and looks a lot different. It's a shame that there's a really good chance that they're just not going to get to go to the playoffs because they decided to just keep rolling with Kirk Cousins when he clearly was ineffective. But the other thing I'll say, last thing, is you never know. You never know, man. This could be this Falcons Commanders could be like the rivalry we watch in the NFC for that's the fun thing when rookies play each other or like young quarterbacks is it's like you never know if this is going to be the perennial matchup you see like every year in the playoffs. So maybe if this was a good first chapter. So anyway. And then we got the Lions, and
this was
wild game.
Yeah, this was crazy. I didn't expect this. This is one of the games I did watch for a little bit, but then I went to bed. Yeah, wild game. 49ers really were in control there in that first half. They didn't miss a field goal. They've been having kicking troubles all year with their kicker Jake Moody. But yeah, they were in control in the first half and they were going tit for tat, but they missed another field goal in the second half. And yeah, the Lions just kept pace with them, kept going. A little worried about this team with the Lions here. They're very good and stuff. It's just I hate we're seeing Ben Johnson. Look, maybe he has a ton of plays left we haven't seen, but it's really tough that we got to see all these trick plays done by the Lions and all that stuff. Ben Johnson has to really go into his offensive bag here because just defensively they can't stop a cold, bro. It's really a shame.
Yeah,
I'm a little worried about him now. We're getting a phenomenal Sunday night game to end the season. I've never seen it. Well, I don't want to say never, but just a game that can decide on if your team could, get to rest up and, be healthy in the divisional round, or you're playing in the wild card is just crazy to see. But no, I'm pumped for this Sunday.
I am too. And I can't wait to talk about it a little more on this game. I am still confident in the Lions, but their defense is giving me pause, and I do agree, like, if they cannot beat the Vikings and they got to go be the 5th seed, go on the road,
I mean, you playing the Bucks. I give them a really good shot, but after that, it gets a little tough. It gets a little shaky.
Yeah, it's just this really does feel like a team that needs a week off. Get healthier, get that home field advantage, and it can all come tumbling down if they don't get that. Um, it's going to be tough, but I remain confident. I remain steadfast that this team is this good. It's just unfortunate that they've gotten decimated defensively by so many injuries, but they got it done here. Situationally, they were good. Can't wait to talk about it. I do have a thing I want to say about Brock Purdy, though.
Go ahead, because that's the what do we do about Brock Purdy? That's what we're talking about with the 49ers.
So I am very irritated at. Look, first off, I've never been like a huge Brock Purdy fan. Like I'm like, yeah, Brock Purdy's cool. Like I thought people last year who were saying he was the MVP, I thought that was insane. I mean, like that was nonsense. But I like Brock Purdy, okay, but I feel like the narrative around him is very unfair because there's a kind of a cliche, not just in football but in sports, where it's like, well, Pete, your draft position doesn't matter. All that matters is what you do in the end when you get there. And pardon my language, I think that is fucking bullshit. I think that is a lie. Dak Prescott has been in the league for almost 10 years. You cannot have a conversation about Dak without somebody going, well, fourth round guy. Like, what are you going to do? Like, he's limited. You're giving him all this money. Like, that's what it always is. And I cannot help but feel if Brock Purdy was not a seventh rounder, if instead of having number
last pick of the draft,
it's instead of him having number 256 next to his name, if he had 12 next to his name, the 12th overall pick in the first round, there would be no question that Brock Purdy should get a contract this year. There'd be no question.
Because they were two NFC championships and a Super Bowl?
And two NFC championships, got hurt in the first one, so couldn't even play in it. Second year, gets his team to a Super Bowl, walks off the field with his team in position to take the lead against Patrick Mahomes in overtime. And this year, he has a bad year.
But they were all having that. Fred Warner has been playing on a dislocated ankle. The receiver Brandon
Ayuk got hurt early.
They came in.
Drama. Ricky Pearsall got shot. Like Christian McCaffrey was out all year. Deebo Samuel's a shell of himself. Like it's just Trent Williams was in and out. He went through a family tragedy. It's just like, and I'm so annoyed because I get it. Brock Purdy is limited. Brock Purdy is not as physically freakish as some of the upper tier quarterbacks we look at. But if I truly believe if all was equal, if everything was the same, the only difference was Brock Purdy was taken in the first round instead of the seventh round, there'd be no question he should get a contract this year. There'd be no question. People would think 49ers drafted this guy in the first round. They're not going to pay him. And I get people don't. Trevor Lawrence got paid and people didn't like it. Jordan Love got paid and people didn't like it. Tua got paid. People I get that. The media probably is being consistent. They don't like to pay any quarterback, but
unless they're amazing.
The idea that executives are going to sit around and go, "Yeah, Brock Purdy, not worth a contract." I truly believe it's only because he was a seventh round pick. If Brock Purdy had been a first round pick, if Trevor Lawrence had achieved what Brock Purdy had achieved in 3 years, would there have been any question that he should have gotten paid? Absolutely not. And Trevor Lawrence, for the record, that dude got paid after 3 years. He'd had 8 good games of football.
And one playoff one, which he shouldn't have had.
Oh, a terrible playoff. Like, if there's ever been a bad playoff win, it was that one. Like, and he got – and again, I know people didn't want to pay him, but, like, that was the narrative. Like, yeah, okay, pay him. Like, that you drafted him first overall. He's shown you what you want to see in times. Like, that's – but it just annoys me about Brock Purdy because it feels like because he's a seventh-round pick, he's on a tighter leash. Like, he gives us 2 solid years to the point. Again, I didn't agree with it, but a lot of people thought he was an MVP candidate last year. He has a down year as well as the rest of his organization, and people are like, nope, can't pay him. Can't pay him. Like, that's all it took was 8 bad games by Brock Purdy, and people go, I don't want to pay him. And it's like, it just annoys me because it just really just goes to show you, like, if you're a late round pick in this league, you cannot afford to have a streak of bad games. Whereas, like, if you're Trevor Lawrence, you can be bad for 2.5 years and get paid. And it just bothers me. It just gets on my nerves, and I just hear people all the time say, like, well, your draft position doesn't care. Nobody cares about your draft position. Like hell, people care, and it matters. So anyway, that's my rant.
No, I agree with everything you said there. My only thing is, I think he should get paid. It's just the amount. It's really just the amount that he's asking for.
Well, and
again, now, Dak, did Dak deserve that $60 million contract? No.
$60 million. No.
So
that was just bad management by the Cowboys too, though. Like, that was a bad situation all around.
So I mean, it depends on what he's coming with, but I mean, but he could come with the 49ers and be like, I had this down year, but we all had a down year, and I got us to 2 NFC Championships games and a Super Bowl. And like you said, the last time I had the ball, we had the lead in the Super Bowl. That was not my fault that we lost that. I didn't throw like a game-ending interception. I'm sorry I had this bad year, but we all did. So like not everyone, like a lot of people deserve blame. He's the quarterbacks. We give him a lot of blame when they win. He'll get a lot of blame when they didn't play well, which is not always fair, but it is what it is. But he has played himself. I think he has proven himself to get a contract. Now, the amount, we can dispute that. But on the basis of what he has done in his career up until this point, he deserves a contract. He deserves to be a starter in this league, if not for the 49ers, somewhere else. But the 49ers should be playing ball here.
Yeah, and again, like, we can quabble on the amount. Like, I'm fine with that. I just, like, it's also a tough situation because Brock Purdy has basically been playing for free.
Yeah.
And now he's like, it's like, well, can you take a team discount? I've been taking a team discount for 3 years.
And technically, they don't have to pay him this year. This offseason.
No, they don't. They can let it ride.
They can let it ride, and then they can franchise tag him the next year.
And the next year after that.
And the next year. So they can have Brock Purdy making...
For 6 years. Now, that franchise tag, nice, though.
Yeah,
that franchise tag going to get him, like, $50+ million.
That's how Kirk Cousins made his money. So I imagine we'll see... Now they can kick this down the road until next year, but as we see that market goes up and stuff like that, franchise tag is a little scary because that goes up as well. They could be paying Brock Purdy like $50 million, $40 million. I don't know. I think this is the franchise tag goes up each year, right?
The franchise tag is the average of the top 5 contracts at that position.
And
so it does go. It go as the pay goes up, the franchise tag goes up.
So if I'll get him signed now, do everything you can, I would.
That's the thing too. Is like you just can't wait on these quarterbacks anymore. That's what I remember when Dak's first contract year came up. It was right after Jimmy Garoppolo got paid. Jimmy Garoppolo got paid $27 million, and people are like, "That's insane! $27 million! I can't believe how would you pay a quarterback that much?" People are like, "We can't pay Dak that much." The Cowboys waited 2 years, and they ended up paying that guy $40 million. Like, you can't wait on these quarterbacks anymore. So anyway. That is week 17. We got one more week, though, and I got to tell you, Christian, it's going to be weird because so many teams are not playing for anything.
Yeah.
So many teams
half these games don't even matter.
Yeah. It's always a weird week, but even in the chaos, even in the trials and the tribulations, Christian, you still find a way to speak to the vibes.
Speak to the vibes. I mean, this is the vibes going into the playoffs.
Y'all didn't see that image right there. That's an old one. I'm throwing it up. But, Christian, we're going to do the vibes. Christian is going to talk about...
not going to be on this for too long.
Oh, okay. I got you. I'm looking for it. Yeah, but anyway, yada, yada, the vibes. don't speak to Chris or the vibes speak to him. You know what the drill is. I can't. This is this is weird. This is
It's just
Hold on.
what.
You go into it. I'm gonna have to format this a little bit.
Oh, you're good. Is it because of the last year?
It's. Oh, that's yeah. It's a little large, but we'll figure it. I'll figure it out. Do your
All
thing.
right. Yeah. So bottoms here. It's official. Jake showing the list here. It's a lot of teams: Colts, Giants, Saints, Titans, Jets, Raiders, Patriots, Browns, Panthers, Jaguars, Bears, Cardinals, Seahawks, 49ers, and the Cowboys. All eliminated, not playing for anything, playing for pride, really, or spoiling their opponent if they are up against a team that is in the playoffs. All right, living on a prayer. We got Dolphins, Bengals, Broncos, and the Falcons. Uh, Talked about all the scenarios for them. Falcons get in if they win and the Bucks lose. But everyone else, you already talked about though for the playoffs there in the AFC for that last spot there. So watch out for that. That's gonna be pretty fun. Next tier is one and done. This is the teams I think going into the playoff. They already have their spot and stuff, but I think going into the wild card weekend, I don't believe really too much in these teams. It also depending on the matchup they get as well. I do like some of these teams. Steelers, we talked about it at the top of the show. Uh, yeah, vibes have not been great. They're on like a three game losing streak, I believe. They're about to play Cincinnati. They'll be playing for something. So that's going to be very interesting to see. Going to be much watch TV. I think any AFC North matchup is going to be must watch TV. Chargers playing really really well. Justin Herbert seems like he's turned it on. J.K. Dobbins played that last game. He had a pretty solid game. I think they're going to be resting. So. But it's going to be interesting to see Justin Herbert once again in the playoffs after being not in it last year. So with John Harbaugh now. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Packers, I like the Packers, but yeah, like Jake said, tier 2 team, I like them. I didn't like them at the beginning of the year, but they keep just Matt LaFleur is a good coach, and um, they just Jordan Love seems to turn it on in the second half of the season when they can, and they can run the ball with Josh Jacobs. So I did see Jair Alexander is going to be out. He's getting knee surgery. So, but defensively they have been much improved. But we'll see about that. I think they might be playing the Eagles or something like that. That could be a tough game for them, tough matchup for them. Commanders, just the youth, really. Also with the Packers, but the Packers at least do have the experience. But the Commanders just the youth. They haven't been. I don't remember the last time they made the playoffs. But we'll see. We will see. I like Jane Daniels. He could be big time. So we'll see. And for the Texans, disappointing year. I think I think they'll maybe have the Ravens. No, they'll have a home playoff game. They'll have
The Steelers.
the Steelers. That's a toss up. That's a toss up. One of these teams is not going to go. Um, I don't know. It's kind of funny now that I realize I have one of them, but I don't like the Steelers as well. So one of these teams are going to get eliminated. And the Bucks are here right now. Um, they can win their division, depending on who loses the Sunday night game against the Vikings and the Lions. I think they'll give them hell if the Vikings or the Lions will show up to play. I think they'll give them hell, but I think they will be one and done. But shout out to Baker and what the Bucks are doing. Baker's been playing very very well. But like I said, probably a one and done. But I think they could be there late in the fourth, and then up to the football gods there. Like them. I'm back. Sorry. All right, I'm back.
You good?
I don't know if I blacked out there. Yeah, my
You're good.
screen went black for a little bit. All right, Ravens, Vikings, Lions drop down just that defense, man, has just been terrible, and it's been just all offense, man. You gotta be able to stop somebody in the playoffs, man. So I not uh too down on them, but I it is a concern. And then we'll see what happens again on Sunday night.
Sunday
uh,
night.
on Sunday night, and then the Rams. Hey, uh, don't really. Hey, they did it. They lasted the season. They're in the playoffs. They got their division clinched up. I think they'll be resting starters. So we'll see. Matt Stafford, Puka Nakua, Cooper. Uh, what's his name? What's
Cooper
his
Cup.
Cooper Cup. I couldn't. I was thinking Cooper Rush. I'm like, he plays for the Cowboys. What are you doing? So they'll get a home playoff game. I don't know how far they go, but I can see them getting at least a win. Um, and then yes, your Super Bowl contenders. Uh, just one less team here: the Chiefs, Bills, and the Eagles. And that's it. That's the list, baby.
Yeah, I like the list. I really don't think I I don't know. The only very
Maybe I'll
slight.
probably put the Steelers up on like them, but maybe should have made it one more tier for them
No,
because like I just don't like them. Maybe just the one in.
see, I don't know. It's maybe yeah, maybe like one tier between the like 'em and one and done because like I don't feel like the Packers are one and done. They might be, but I feel like they're a better team than one
They
and
play
done.
the Eagles, I believe.
Okay, yeah,
They
maybe
would
that is
match
one.
up. I can let me
But
check that.
I
I think they
also
play the Eagles.
my only other concern is I feel like the Falcons and the Bucks should be on the same tier because I mean they're basically playing for the same. They're basically just playing for all the marbles on Sunday.
True.
But you know, Lions getting dropped down to like them. They're about to play in what could be possibly the most consequential regular season in the history of the sport.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
about to. They gotta play the Eagles on the road. I don't
okay,
know.
well, yeah, then they're probably one and done then. But yeah, Vikings Lions are right. I like the Ravens and the Rams in there. Like locked into the playoffs, could in the right circumstance make a run or two. But you know, are they Super Bowl contenders? Tough to tell. I do think either the Vikings or the Lions will be considered Super Bowl contenders. I know we kind of have to wait and see this week, but it would not surprise me if we get to your tiers next week and you have one of those teams in that category. But no, I mean, I like it. I agree. I don't really have too much of a gripe. The it's official tier is insane and sad, but unfortunately, that tier probably will not exist next week because this time next week, 18 of the 32 teams will be done. We will not get to see them for another 9 months. So tough, sad day, sad week, and then we got Black Monday coming up too. So it's
Black
the
Monday.
vibes are a little sad, but it is the playoffs, so it is also exciting, and we'll see where we go. So
How's Texas doing?
it's getting dicey.
Oh, they came back.
Yeah, they just threw an interception.
Oh, okay. Because when I turned the game off. Well, when we were starting to record and stuff, working on it, it was 14-3, and I was like, "Yeah, dude,
Oh, they're about to
I like
score.
this." Oh, okay.
There's
I
a
was about to say because all these playoff games. I mean, we got Ohio State, Oregon next. Ooh, that's okay. That's good. Oh, and then we get Notre. Yeah, that's probably good. We'll see. But yeah, I've been not a big fan of the playoffs, the college football playoffs. I like it. I like it. We're getting more teams, and it's you know all that stuff. But it's been a lot of blowouts, man. That's what I was kind of fearing. That these top teams are going to go up against these, these bottom tier teams, and
Yeah.
but no, shout out Arizona State. I thought they were going to be dead.
Who's this Scatabo guy saying he's the best back in the country?
I thought that was Alshon Gentry.
That's what I thought too. But till this guy said in this press conference, people don't understand. I'm the best back in the country.
Hey,
All right, dude. Anyway,
oh, they just scored.
yeah, they did. They're about to go for two and tie it up.
Ooh, all right.
All
Well,
right.
let's wrap this up.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. So really quick, we got Jake's bets.
How'd you do?
Quick recap: we had a winning week. Went 3-2 last week, but
It's the total
it's
now.
looking tough. Looking tough, Christian. We're at
No.
nine. We're at what is it now? 85. 85 bets for the year. Trying to do the quick math in my head. 41 and 44. 41 and 44. So we're still kind of right there, but it's looking tough. If we want to hit that 53%, we're going to have to basically go 12 and 2.
This is including the playoffs?
We have to go 11 and 3. Final answer. Yeah, including the playoffs, 11 and 3.
Okay, I think you did pretty. You did really well in the playoffs.
I went 70% last year, so
yeah,
it's on the board. It's not. We're not out of it, but we got to have a great week here. And unfortunately, this week is very hard. Oh, I guess really.
Yeah, because you're like these teams that aren't even playing for anything.
Who's benched? Who's doesn't care?
Yeah.
So here are my bets from last week. Had the Cardinals plus 6.5. Easy. Hit it. The other two I got right. Vikings minus 1.5. Can't believe I barely covered that, but I barely covered it by half a point, even though they were dominating that entire game. And I got lucky. Lions covered minus 3.5. Kind of weird because the two I missed the Cowboys plus 7.5, and I missed the Panthers plus 8.5. I felt great about those. Like I was like, these are locks. It's too many points. Too many points. And the other ones, the Vikings and the Lions, I was not sure about. And I got it backwards. So I end up 3-2, solid week, still winning week. We've had so many winning weeks this year. I think we've had more winning weeks this year than we did all of last year. But I think the losing weeks we've had this year have been so egregious that they've just offset us. 44. 15 bets left, 5 more in the regular season, and we'll do 10 playoff games. Let's get into them this week. So
2 Saturday games.
I have 3 locked in.
Ooh.
I'm still deciding on 2 of them, but the 3 I have locked in on Saturday.
Oh, you're doing okay Saturday.
I'm breaking a rule.
Ooh. Division match? Yeah, they're both the AFC North matchups.
They are. That's funny. I'm going Bengals minus 1.5.
Oh.
Yeah. Usually in this spot, Steelers are at home. They're underdogs. I like that. I like the Bengals to win this one, minus 1.5. It's tough. It's just kind of just betting them straight up to win at this point.
Jamar Chase has 16 touchdowns? Oh my god.
Who?
Jamar Chase has 16 touchdowns.
Nice.
Jesus. That's a man. I thought you don't see that in men.
That's a lot of touchdowns. So my next one, we go to Sunday slate. I have the Panthers plus 7.5 against the Falcons.
Ooh, I was just looking at that too.
Yeah, it's just too many points.
It's too many points.
It's just too many points.
And division game, Panthers are looking to spoil. Bryce Young's still, trying out.
They got a rookie coach. Like Bryce Young still got to prove his worth. Like, I mean, the Panthers. I don't think the Panthers are going to give up. Like the Panthers are still fighting. They're not fighting for anything, but I think they're still fighting for that pride. So, yeah, I like the Panthers to keep it close.
Wait, did you do Panthers plus, or did you do Atlanta 7.5?
Panthers plus 7.5.
Oh, okay.
And then my other lock, this one feels easy to me. This, to me, feels like the easiest bet on the board. Chiefs plus 10.5. I'm getting Patrick Mahomes plus 10 points. No, of course not.
Carson Wentz
is not playing. But Carson Wentz is playing. You're telling me Andy Reid can't keep it within 10.5 points of the Broncos, even with backups? Like, come on.
Did they play this? I remember, I don't know if it was last year or a couple years ago, when these two teams played at the end of the year, and it was close.
I don't know, but I remember Carson Wentz last year played in this same spot for the Rams where they benched all their players, and he played a garbage time game against the 49ers, and he won.
It was not.
I think Carson Wentz is serviceable. I think he's fine. I think for a game, 10.5 is insane. Like, that is a crazy number. I know the Broncos. My only concern is the Broncos they're playing. Like, the Broncos, their season is on the line. Like, they are playing for something. But I think they can keep it close. I think the
Okay,
four.
yeah.
I,
I was looking at it these last few years. The last time they played either the Broncos in the final game or the Week 17, it's been close. So I think that's a pretty solid bet against the spread.
I think the Broncos will win,
It's a lot of points.
but
Ten
I
and a
just
half is
10.5
crazy.
is crazy. So okay, those are the
Crazy.
three that I feel pretty locked in. The other ones I'm flirting with.
Okay.
I'm not doing the Bears plus 10. I'm crossing that off
That
the list.
you get the Bears. Do
Crossing that
not
off
bet
the
the
list.
Bears at
I'm
all.
crossing that off the list. Okay, so it's three I'm considering. So two of these will likely get in. The Commanders minus 4.5 against the Cowboys.
Oh, okay. 60. Oh,
My only concern, they're not really
maybe
playing
I might try
for
to go to this game. I don't know. We'll
they're
see.
not playing for much. Um,
That is also true.
I just, the 49ers plus 4 against the Cardinals. I don't know why that spread looks like that. I don't know if I'm missing some news that's come out about who's is or isn't playing, but oh, excuse me.
Yeah, we've
I
been
just feel like
2
the
hours.
49ers are I feel like Brock Purdy, like he's still wanting to play for something. Like he's still got to go out there and prove.
Yeah.
I just plus 4 seems a little weird to me. And then the
Okay.
Seahawks minus 5.5. Um, Seahawks can get a 10-win
It's
season. Geno
it's
Smith
six
is
and a, it's 6.5 on ESPN. Is that the one
where?
you're using?
Which one?
On ESPN.
Which game?
Did you say Seattle?
I'm talking about Seattle now. I have it at it's now it was at 5.5. Okay, now it's at 6.5. Dang, it moved a whole point. Okay, well that makes that a little easier. Yeah, I'm gonna cross that one off. That's a little too big now. So not doing the Seahawks. Okay, so right now tentatively I'll do Commanders minus 4.5 and I'll do 49ers plus 4. I liked the Seahawks because the Seahawks they're playing for that 10-win season.
Yeah.
Geno Smith is playing for a $4 million incentive, and the Rams are
Mm,
starting none of their players.
yeah.
Um, but 6.5 seems like a lot, especially for a team that's not actually playing for anything. So we'll lock in Bengals minus 1.5, Panthers plus 7.5, Chiefs plus 10.5, and then probably Commanders minus 4.5 and 49ers plus 4. Those are your 5 bets in this very, very hard game and time to pick because of all the uncertainty. But that's what I got.
Um, I have the game I want. I don't know if I'm gonna do the under or the over. Uh, Give me Giants plus 3.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. I don't hate that. I don't have a read on that one, but okay.
I don't either. I just it's division game, low scoring. Um, and then the Giants want to play football now for some reason. So maybe Drew Lock has another phenomenal game for no apparent reason. So we'll see. I
That would be wild.
may flip it to Eagles plus minus 3, but I like this game. Not a lot of points. Eagles aren't playing for nothing. So all starters there. They're not going. Saquon is out. He's not playing for the record. So a lot of people gonna be out, and then the Giants just playing for pride.
Yeah, Brian Dayball still. I don't know. It's a
Ryan
little weird.
Dayball could be playing or he still might get fired even if they lose his
Yeah.
4-13.
So,
So
but all right, there you go. We'll lock in these bets on Friday, and hopefully it goes well. But you know, I know this will be the last time I get to see my team for a few months. So I know a lot of everybody's in the same boat. 18
it's
of the 32
almost
teams will be gone. So just enjoy it while you can, y'all. Soak it in because these games, it's gonna literally every week we'll have fewer and fewer games. So it is what it is.
yeah.
All right.
This
Well, with
time of
that,
year.
Christian, we have done it. We have done our tiers, recapped the games, made our bets. So, for the last time this regular season, we ask who you got. We start with the Browns and the Ravens on Saturday. What you thinking?
I'm gonna go Ravens, but their backups. I feel like they'll still they can beat the Browns. Yeah, I think this is the Browns are just out of it and stuff like that. I don't know. 17.5 is crazy.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Red is
insane. But I
insane.
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did win by that many points. I'm going Ravens as well. Nothing crazy here. Ravens, the Browns are they're a hopeless team right now. Like Dorian Thompson
Yeah.
might not be playing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. So, gonna go with the Ravens. How about Bengals Steelers? Off the rip, I'll go Bengals.
I'm going Bengals too.
I think
They need it.
Steelers
I
just
mean,
look discombobulated.
yeah, they have just not been looking. They have not looked great. Joe Burrow, he knows what needs to be done. So I think he's gonna ball, and it's just on the Bengals defense to get a stop, a few stops maybe.
How about we go to Sunday? We got Texans Titans. I guess I will go. Wow, this is bad. You got the Texans with not playing their starters, and the Titans who are just bad. Texans have no reason to win this. Titans have every reason to lose this. I guess I'll go Texans.
I'll go Titans.
Okay.
Titans are favored in this game.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. This is horrible. All right.
Tickets as low as $5.
How about Panthers Falcons? I'm gonna go for the upset and pick Panthers.
Oh, I'm gonna go Falcons.
Right, cool.
I think they got a lot to play for.
Commanders Cowboys. I'm going Commanders.
I'm going Cowboys.
Nice. Okay. Wow. We're really different this week.
I just think some of these teams that are gonna be playing for them just have a little extra motivation. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, again, I Mike McCarthy could in theory be playing for his job. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Jerry's already made his decision, but who knows? Fun fact, really quick. Didn't talk about it. Cowboys released Zeke. That was something.
Yeah, that was
He can go play for a playoff team.
Yeah, true.
That's why he did it. They released him so he could be eligible to sign on.
That's fair.
Extra roster.
What was it? Shaq Barrett was trying to do that to the Dolphins this year. We were like, no, we're not doing that for you. He was trying to, because he retired and he wanted to come back. So I guess he's asking us for him to for us to release him. It's like, no, dude, F. Which, yeah, dude, you don't we don't trade for you, and then you're like, actually, I don't want to play, and then now you want to, actually, I do want to play. When
it's not for y'all.
Yeah, it's not for y'all. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Sit your ass down and retire.
That's funny.
That is.
All right, Packers Bears. I'll go Packers.
Yeah, I just don't believe in the Bears. Sorry, Bears.
All right, Jags Colts. I'll go Jaguars.
Colts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Who's starting for that game? Is it gonna be Joe Flacco?
I have no idea. I've not read anything about that game.
I think Anthony Richardson's out. Apparently, he couldn't stand up. Staying on with his injury.
Holy moly! Okay, yeah, don't play. No reason for him to play. Then it sounds like Joe Flacco will almost certainly play. Bills Patriots. Bills, I guess, but no idea.
Patriots? Yeah. The Bills they're just going to be out there yeah.
Eagles Giants.
No, Giants. I guess I'm rocking with my pick, I guess.
I'm going Eagles. How about Buccaneers Saints?
Bucks
as well. 49ers Cardinals.
49ers.
I'm also going to 49ers. Rams Seahawks.
I guess I'm really going all the Seahawks.
I'm going Seahawks as well. Chargers. Raiders. Sorry. Lost my spot.
I think I'll go Chargers here.
I'm going Chargers as well. Dolphins, Jets. Going Dolphins.
Dolphins, we need it.
And then let's talk about it. Let's talk about the big bad wolf. We got what could very well be the most consequential regular season game in the history of the NFL. The first time ever, the last game of the year will decide the number 1 seed.
That's never happened?
I don't think it's happened. That's what I keep
hearing.
I don't remember it ever happening.
Oh, wow.
Usually the last game of the year is like, who's going to win the division? Oh, we got an NFC North division. No, this is the first time 2 teams with 13-plus wins have played each other in the regular season.
For both 14-2, man. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
You would need so much to happen to get to this point. Like, you would need both these teams to be in contention, like have this kind of record in the same division, and you would have to have had it scheduled correctly. Because there's a 50-50 chance the Lions are playing the Bears, instead of the Vikings or the Packers or something. Everything has to have lined up in the exact way it did.
And we got that timeline. We got it.
Got it. So, I don't know what you're going to be doing, everybody, but you need to cancel your plan Sunday evening.
I might even stay up late and watch depending on how the game is going. I might stay up late and watch it till its conclusion.
Must-watch TV. So, Christian, for the number 1 seed, who do you got?
I don't know, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair. Fun fact, while you think about it, this line, when the line opened, the over-under was like 51 and a half points.
Mm-hmm.
It's now like 57 and a half.
Well, yeah. Well, it's interesting because the Lions really can't stop anybody, but their offense is, great, amazing, all that stuff. Vikings' offense is pretty good, but their defense is also solid. So,
they're a very balanced team.
Yeah, can the Vikings get stops when they need it? And I guess can the Lions keep this? Their only path to victory is to keep this in the shootout. We already know Dan Campbell, he's going to be aggressive with his 4th down calls. I'm not going to like all of them, but they're going to pick up some. So it's going to be, dude, this is going to be a game. I'm gonna go Lions. Go on Lions. Oh.
Do not let my pink, purplish microphone cover fool you. I am going Lions.
Oh.
I am going Lions as well. Yeah, I'll be rooting for the Lions. I love the Vikings. It's
great season.
I love what Kevin O'Connell has done for this team. I'm very happy for Sam Darnold. Love Justin Jefferson.
Very happy.
This is one of those where I'm going to be sad that one of these teams has to lose. Whoever does lose this game, it has such a chance. Because it's not just about the 1 seed. It's about whoever loses this is going to be the 5th seed.
Yes,
and they're going to go from having, a field goal very well could be the difference between getting a bye week, getting to play 2 playoff games at home, and having to go on the road next week and face whoever and not having a home playoff game again for the rest of the year. It's so pivotal. But I'll go Lions very reluctantly. I am very nervous about that defense, and I have massive respect for the Vikings. But I'll go Lions. I think it's their time.
It's their time.
I've just maybe I have fooled myself into, because I've been such a Lions supporter all year long. I can't see how the league is how these teams are changing in front of me, but I'll go Lions. So, all right, well, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for rocking with us and watching. I hope your favorite team doesn't let you down this Sunday, and if this is the last time you're going to see them for 9 months, make sure you get the most out of it. We got the playoffs coming up though, so be
Back
ready.
Monday.
If your team is in the playoffs, good luck to you. It's exciting. I'm very excited for this playoff slate. It feels like every team is compelling.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think last year was pretty solid too.
Yeah, I just feel like sometimes you get into those last couple of wild card slots, and it can be like, this is kind of a weak slate. But like, I don't feel like that's the case this year. Like, the wild cards in both the AFC and NFC are very stacked. So, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Can't wait to have a Super Bowl party. It's hard to believe we're already back at this point.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, I love you. Take it easy. Be safe out there. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. You got 500,000 some odd minutes in this year left, so make them count. All right. Bye, everybody.
That was a long one.